even though the code is going to be the exact same, since hopefully you're copying me in copying this code just like I am, you may have a different display. For example, if you're using Google Chrome ignores state 1. So this is never going to display if you're using Google Chrome. For other people, maybe they're using Internet Explorer or Firefox, they're going to see this. So don't think just because you don't see some of these status messages that you coded something wrong, or if you're looking, oh, maybe I didn't close that semicolon, maybe that's why it's not displaying. It's not your fault. It's just that whoever made the browser, for whatever reason, some browsers ignore some states. So, I just want to mention that. Google Chrome, for example, we aren't going to see the status 1. Now, now that I gave you guys that little warning, I just don't want you guys to freak out. Now what we can do is we can do this for status 2, 3, and 4, and I want to talk to you guys about what those mean as well. So go ahead and just put this in else if statement, and of course instead of 1, we want to test for 2 now. That almost sounds like tuna. I don't even know why I said that. That was stupid. And so 2, of course, we want to change status 2. Alright, so what does status 2 mean? If you're communicating with a server and you're on ready state 2, what this means is the server received the request. So I'll just write request received. So basically we're not just connecting to the server just like, hey server, I'm a PC, okay, see you later. We actually want the server to do something in AJAX. Now typically it's to run a PHP script or generate an XML file. That's our request. So if we're on ready state 2, that means, okay, hey client, I'm the server and I received your request, you're good to go. So now after that we can move on to 3. So else if 3, then what does status 3 mean? Hold on, let me just go ahead and... Alright, so if you are on ready state 3, or the stage of your communication is at 3, what this means is the server is processing your request. So basically whatever you asked it to do, it's currently performing that task. And these can be things, like I said, generate an XML file. So during the portion, while the server is generating the XML file, it's going to go ahead and be at ready state 3. So it's not done with it yet, but it's basically, like I said, processing your request. Now the last thing I want to do is put this else if statement for 4. Now we're going to make 4 a little bit different. We aren't just going to, make text, because ready state 4 basically means that your request is finished and the response, whatever you asked for, it's ready. Now, we just don't want to go ahead and make text like this, because this can mean a couple different things. It means that your response is ready, but it doesn't mean that the response went okay. For example, when you communicate with a server and you get a 404 message, maybe your web page doesn't exist. Those 404 messages that you get sometimes? Well, even though your conversation went okay and you were able to connect with that server, there was a problem. So, it was able to communicate with you alright, but whatever you asked it to do, it didn't perform it. So that's why we need a separate if statement. So even though we're at ready state 4, and this basically means that the communication between your computer and the server computer went okay, it doesn't mean that the conversation was successful, basically. So in order to test this, what you need to do is you need to text HTTP status, and the status of a successful response is equal to 200. Now let me add one more equals. Now again, you can also have things like 404, and this would mean that the page didn't exist or a page not found. But instead of writing 404 and all the things that can go wrong in separate else statements, we really need only to do if else. So basically, if this happens right here, then it means that everything was successful. It means everything was okay. Else, it means that basically something went wrong. We don't need to test all the different errors individually. Else, something went wrong. So what do we want to do if something went wrong? Well, we just want to alert the user that maybe the page wasn't found or something. And you do this by